All right, so I'll stand for the meeting of the City of Ellsworth regular council meeting for November the 25th, 2024. Let's say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, like I said earlier, we adopted some new rules, and part of that was reading that a mayor should give an overview before every meeting. So I've got a few words to share with you tonight, and we'll get started. So tonight we gather together to have our council meeting, but more importantly, to celebrate democracy and free speech. For many tonight, this will be an opportunity to say goodbye to our city administrator who has taken another position. For others, this is the reignition of our democracy and the beginning of a new era in Ellsworth. This new era allows us the chance to get things right. This will require debate, patience, disagreement, compromise, and the admission that we have many long-standing issues and a resistance to look at ourselves in the mirror. Issues that include, but are not limited to, not providing our citizens and elected officials with an adequate amount of information necessary to defend itself and our collective local democracy. As the weeks pass, you will learn just how lucky we are to have each other, community activists like Mary Schmidt, and this city. As your mayor, I set out in 2021 to be an impactful mayor and at times a transcendent mayor. Sometimes this philosophy is congruent with popularity and sometimes it is not. But in my mind, being impactful is always about doing the right thing. Let's have a productive meeting and let's meet the challenges before us with positivity and hope for our city, our families, friends, and fellow elected officials. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to make an addition to the agenda for an amendment to ordinance 2.04.080.
Business.
On new business.
It's a whole new agenda item.
What was the number again?
2.040.080.
Okay, what is the subject?
Patrick, what's the proper way to?
That's the code that talks about the mayor's powers.
Okay. All right, Councilor Johnson has made a motion to add an agenda item 2-04-080. Who has seconded that motion?
I'll second that motion.
Tyler Renard has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, moving on to the consent agenda. That includes the water and sewer termination extension requests, the approval of 12 November 2024 regular council meeting minutes. Those are the two items in the consent agenda.
So there are no requests for termination here. I'll make a motion that we approve the November 12th, 2024 regular council minutes.
I'll second.
Councilor Panzer has made a motion to approve the consent agenda. Councilor Coates has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, so this leads us into the public comment section of our meeting. Let me get my timer ready here. Who would like to go first? Come on up, Mary.
Mine's not very long, this one, this evening. This day I choose to address the council person who ran on one single issue in their campaign for a council seat. And I had a question for Mr. Pender. You based your entire campaign for a council seat on one single item. This is printed in the local newspaper, one single item. Why haven't you fixed Creeley Park? Why doesn't it look good? This was your only reason for running. It was in the paper. The paper does not lie. They recorded your words verbatim. You have failed. Now that Justin is leaving, will you resign?
Will I what?
Will you resign? And if you didn't understand it, I'm gonna get it to you. Because it's not bad. It's verbatim.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. That's what we need to see on camera because a council person
Mary,
does
please
not
return to the vote.
react that way.
Mary,
Shut up.
please return to the.
I'm not done. No.
She's not done, sorry.
You need to.
Yeah, Mary, you need to vote.
I said.
Okay.
Mary,
Could she be,
Point of order.
He's just.
back there? She needs to be removed from the meeting,
Please.
sir.
No, I make that decision, if he makes that decision, not you.
Finish speaking.
I would like to-
Back here, please.
you-
Can you say it from back here, please?
Yeah, why are you not sitting with us, by the way? Somebody's sitting with us.
Here's my comfy.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Garage.
There we go. Thank you, Officer Wagner.
It's time to clean, Don. And get people doing what they promised to do when they were running for a position. That's what needs to be done. And I'm bringing it to your attention because it was in the paper verbatim.
Thank you, Mary, for comments. Okay, who would like to go next? No, Terry signed up right before we,
I saw it doesn't appear on that paper.
she signed up.
No, this is your petitions and delegations, that's just a sign sheet, so. these-
Oh, I didn't know the difference, because I just saw where everybody else was signing.
Yeah, why don't you come on up? Yep. She didn't know. It's our first week.
Yeah, that's my first meeting. Hey, everybody, my name's Terry Pruitt. And I just came tonight because I wanted to get involved in our city to see if we could make it better and stuff. And I'm really appalled, and I'm being very honest here, at what I just witnessed, Mr. Don, by you grabbing that paper, wadding it up, because that's not professional. And you represent the city, which I live in the city, and I don't understand why you couldn't just answer the question, or at least be appropriate when she approached you and not what paper, because that's not appropriate.
Some people don't deserve a response.
All people deserve respect, and that wasn't
There's a lot of
respectful.
difference, excuse me, that's it.
You're very rude, and it's uncalled for, because I'm being honest here. It's the first time I've ever been in a meeting, and I just feel like it was inappropriate.
Thank you very much. You have a nice Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Next person, Michael Walsh. Have we ever returned for the address stuff like that? City worker?
Mike Walsh, city resident.
Hi, Mike.
Many city residents have complained both here and directly to me or online regarding the unprofessional and divisive behavior of Mayor Dan Finnegan. Complaining is easy, resolving the problem is more involved. I have met with the county elections clerk and received the guidelines required for a recall of the mayor. I am offering those to satisfy citizens an opportunity to act. Anyone interested in working with me to put together a recall petition and submit it, please contact me at waldowalsh@yahoo.com. That's WALDOWALSH.com.
Thank you, Mike.
Back to
You
you.
remember, there's a deadline there because you're running up into an election, so I think it's probably got to be done by June, so you're gonna have to hurry. It's gonna go to court, so the likelihood of this working is pretty low, but I think it's a smart move. Please do it. Please do it. Thank you. Anybody else like to speak?
I wanted to speak. I'm not sure if I signed on the right paper.
Well, you have to be allowed because it was
Come
allowed.
on up, Jan. Yep. Yep.
Jan Bontrager. I just wanted to say, thank you to you guys, but especially to Dustin. And I'm very saddened and discouraged at his decision to feel the need to resign and move on. But I want to take a minute to thank you personally and publicly for the very many proactive programs and policies that you have been implementing within our city and working so well with our city council, and for giving me personally support on our board at the Pines Apartments. And I'm gonna be very sad to see you go, but I pray that you have a better reception where you're going. So, thank you.
Thank you. All right, that's everybody? Okay,
Not really.
no, anybody else that needs to speak? Okay, so looks like we want to do unfinished business now. We have the bids for the 1401 West 11th Street septic.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead.
As per your direction to me to get Mrs. Kennedy's bids done, I solicited 4 plumbers within our financial policy between 10 and 30. I don't need to get a formal bid process together since it's under 50,000, but I went ahead and sent a bid request to 4 vendors, 1 from Wilson, 2 local, and I think 1. All 4 of them were within the Ellsworth County area. And I got 2 bids, 1 from City Plumbing for a total of 9,750. I also got 1 from M&K Services, Mike Fisher, for 11,275. With the city plumbing bid, he will do all the work himself, including pumping it. If we select M&K Services, we would have to pump it because he doesn't have the equipment to do it. But what M&K Services did is he went to talk to Mrs. Kennedy, and I'm not an expert in any of this, so I'm just regurgitating what I was told. But he came to talk to me, and he stated that in response to some of her concerns with being able to mow on an agricultural area, he proposed a design that would allow the heavy equipment to be on it without crushing it. The advantage of city plumbing is that they did do the original work, and they are a little cheaper in price. I did have somebody independently do the soil testing that we paid for, that I sent to everybody on Friday. And so they gave me, this is the 2 I got today. I'm not an expert, so I'm really not sure which one, but both are in the price point based on my research. I'm just requesting a selection so I can get her taken care of.
What's the estimated cost, do you think, the pump?
Well, if our crew does it, I'm paying by the hour and for the maintenance. So
I'm just saying, is it differential? Would that put the city?
If we were to try to pump that tank with our equipment, it is too large and too heavy. If we could get a solid ground to put it on, yes, but it is too large. So therefore, we would have to still call city plumbing to use their suck truck to get into that tank regardless. So we're going to be using them regardless.
What you say? Thank you, Justin.
Yes.
Well, they already do work anyway, and they're the cheaper bid, so. I mean, that's what I would do.
I would go city plumbing.
Yeah. Alright. Do we need a motion on that, or? is that-
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we, approve city plumbing's bid, not to exceed $10,000 for the septic system at 1401 West 11th Street.
I'll second.
All right, Councilor Renard has made a motion to accept the bid from city plumbing not to exceed $10,000. Councilor Hanson has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. City plumbing will win that bid.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next item is the airport taxi lane design project. You want to go ahead and dust them?
Yeah, so last year, as you know, the FAA has been giving us $150,000 every year to utilize for various projects. And what Brad Waller has done is each year he encourages us to take on new projects. This was designed this is just a concept that we talked about last year. With all the projects going on, I don't know that I'm on board with this project, especially with the SMU building. I'm working with Patrick to finish up to at least start the process of redoing all our leases there. So I would much rather get that squared away and go along with this project. The caveat is we would have to tell the FAA that we're giving them a year of the funding that they normally give us.
Does that penalize for future projects from the FAA?
Not that I'm tracking them. We just would lose out on that year's funding.
Yeah.
But with all the projects going on, I know I'm not going, but my opinion is the water sewer infrastructure is more important than the airport. If you just want my honest opinion.
I would agree with that.
I would too.
I mean, there's benefits, like, the positive that I saw at the time was the potential for increasing our commercial, customers at the airport, which that would be the advantage to doing this, but like I said, in terms of private, it's water sewer to me. With the current vendors that we have one commercial and the rest is just, individual users.
I think we could wait, see what happens next year. Yeah. Here.
Or just request a motion to reflect your desire on these projects. That's my request.
Okay.
So how bad is this, like, taxi lane, like, is it pretty bad shape, or is it satisfactory, but could use a facelift?
I mean, it could use a facelift, but they are still able to use it.
Okay, it's not gonna hurt anything, but, I don't know.
In my mind, no. Does any staff have a different opinion, like Delvin?
No.
Like, it's safe and stuff.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we, would turn down the FAA grant money for 2025. Is that,
Or at least not go forward with it.
not go forward with the taxiway project? Taxi lanes project, yeah. Yeah. I'll second that.
All right, Council Bernard has made a motion to turn down the airport taxi lane design project. Council Bernard has seconded that motion. Any debate over this? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, moving right along. Unfinished business still, condemnation of 304 North Douglas Avenue. This is resolution 2021-31. Dustin? Okay.
At the October 14th meeting, you guys decided to give them 30 days to find an architect for condemnation, and I have heard nothing from them. And the 30 days was then last Friday, or the Friday before, sorry. So they've had well over 30 days. I mean, I'm not an architecture, so I don't know that inside wall. You got the garage and the two other add-ons are in horrible shape, so I don't know. I don't know if you have anything else to do but condemn it, because they won't work with us. And the apartments above that one add-on, so I don't know without an architect, how safe that is either. I mean, they have a walking platform to get out of there and down the steps. I can only go on what I can see. And since it's up against that back wall, I don't know.
Well, if we go through with this, maybe they'll change their minds and get an architect or not? I mean, are they gonna just?
But if we condemn this, does it condemn the recorder office then?
If you condemn the whole address, yes.
Do we have to do that?
Can we just condemn the back?
You guys asked me this.
I don't.
Yeah. I think you have to, because it's all one building.
One
And
property.
we don't have an engineer from them or anyone else telling us that it's safe on the other side, so I'm not comfortable legally telling you can just condemn half of it, because it may not all be safe, I don't know.
So if we condemn the whole thing, then that essentially, they would have to evict their tenants?
Yeah.
Is there another option, Patrick or Delvin, forgive the interruption, is there another option where we can inquire and bill the customer or bill the owner to get a safety recommendation to try to, because I'm sensitive to the paper and the resident above. And I don't want to unnecessarily condemn something if it's just
I,
I have opinions, but I would like to, I'd have to use an executive session to give them.
Okay.
The city's legal status.
We'll table that till later then.
I think it would be wise to listen to Patrick's suggestions, because I think, I just, because of all the change that would be required, I'm a little nervous. But I also respect our building inspector, he has a right to be concerned about the safety of the building.
Okay, so moving right along, okay. In the new business now, the city administrator letter of resignation. That is agenda item report 24-234. Preston, want to take this away?
City council, as you've already read in my email and my public statement, I have submitted my resignation as effective as of Wednesday of last week. I'm just making it official now, and I am requesting that you accept it. My final day proposed is 27th of December. I have accepted a job in Fairfax. I just want to publicly state a couple of things. One, I would never leave you hanging, so I will be working with staff to close out loose ends. I will be constructing an exit letter listing every project that I'm working on, every contact that I have, every pie that I have my hands in. I will make sure that I will do everything in my power to make sure that you and the department heads and the staff have all the information. And I will also try to fill in the loose gaps in terms of departments, water, sewer, etc., to make sure that you have everything that you need. Hey, Kansas Rural Water Authority will be there to support Justin and the folks throughout all of this. I'm still trying to get Brian Bulls to come work for us, but he has not given me a yes yet, but I revisited that last week to make sure that we don't lose what progress that I've made with the guys and gals. They've done a really good job of keeping up with what I've asked of them. And so I don't want to lose that culture that we've built together. So like I said, you will be getting an exit letter with all of that information. I will make sure that I close those things, and you will always, the staff will have my personal phone if they ever need to get a hold of me.
So we probably need a vote on this, correct?
I request a vote.
Yep, all right, who would like to make a motion to accept his letter of resignation?
I'll make a motion to accept Dustin's letter. Getting the Ellsworth resignation, but I'd also like to extend the time that you're welcome to stay till the 27th of December.
I
Because
think we're gonna
we
talk about that in executive session.
need to have him, so I like that into the.
Well, let's discuss it.
I want to add that in.
That's a security issue. That's a security issue, but that's fine. You can put it in your motion, but most companies don't do that.
Well, I'm going to.
And you have to accept responsibility for it. I disagree with
You
it.
got consequences too. Dan.
Oh, sure, I'm sure.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I will second that.
All right, Counselor Panzer has made a motion to accept the resignation of Dustin Stambaugh and that he stay in his job until December 27th. Tyler Renard has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I oppose, but I don't get a vote.
Yeah, you don't get a vote.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next item, the 2025 fee schedule, resolution 2024-32. But
First off, I want to thank the staff, the department heads in Mariana and the city clerk's office, Angel, all of them. They've done a good job of helping me compile this and get it updated. We've done a lot of work, specifically in the areas of the rec. Water meters, we've added a lot of stuff that hasn't been there before, so we can recoup the cost of work that we're doing. I've also included the cost of the water meters that we now get from Cashco. Those are a hit. They look great on downtown, and we're finding more uses at them as we go through the neighborhoods. So I've ordered more that I do want to get before council once I get the full, but I ordered 30 more because we're finding a lot of driveways. I think those would just be very useful. That cars are running over those and put them in the antennas. And instead of keep replacing antennas, we're just going to use the new lids to replace those as well. So I haven't gotten the quote yet, but I will get that to you in the night, hopefully. This is the update. This is the fee schedule for 2025. The department heads, like I said, all of us have been looking it over and updating it and working together. It's been a long process, but I want to thank the staff and Mariana for updating it.
So we're gonna vote on it.
There's no questions or issues, Mr. Mayor. I have a question. Yes. So we can get that implemented and they can.
Okay.
Very thorough, good job.
Yeah,
I owe the staff, they did a good job.
I don't. No, everything there. Looks pretty good.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve resolution 2024-32 to set the 2025 fee schedule.
I will second that.
All right, President of the Council Coates has made a motion to accept the resolution 2024-32, setting the 2025 fee schedule. Councilor Bernard has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, moving on to ordinance 3162. Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, one of Mariana's tasks that she's been doing really good is overseeing all of our ordinances and making sure that we're cross-dress right dress. And I want to compliment her and Patrick because both of them have been working together. This has been a goal that Angela and I have had for a long time, and she's been doing a pretty good job of helping us accomplish this. So one of the items that we wanted to solidify is just since we have been meeting twice a month as long as I've been here, we thought it was a good idea to propose to council to make that the ordinance match what we're doing. At one point, we did regular council meeting and recessed. I updated it just to make it a regular council meeting. This just makes it efficient, makes the law match what we're already doing. And she compiled for us.
So last meeting, I think we talked about just having one meeting in December, like, is that just something we're revisiting, or is that an ordinance or a resolution, or how does that fit in, or do we?
You can,
Refresh my memory.
you can create exceptions to policy. This just makes it law on that.
But we have to like vote on that every year then, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
So we're still gonna do two. Yep. Yep.
Nothing's changed.
Right.
Just kind of making it official.
Right.
All right, Mr. Mayor, I move to accept ordinance 3162. I'll second.
All right, President of Council Coates has made a motion to accept ordinance 3162. Councilor Hanson has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. All right, ordinance 3163. Go ahead, Dustin.
Mr. Mayor, same concept, just different application. This is regarding CMB licenses. I know Patrick and I had a conversation about this morning. If you feel they need to go and chime in, but this is just us trying to update things within the code specifically. Mariana, you want to take it a little further since you did the research?
Yes, by ordinance, our police department has to inspect any premise that carries a liquor or a CMB license. That has not been done. So now that he is in his position, he and Weigel have been inspecting these locations and they're finding discrepancies and conflicts to our code. The primary one with this ordinance is Quick Shop, because Quick Shop came about after the Assembly of God Church across the alley. It is definitely within 200 feet, which is a violation of state statute and our city ordinance. So this ordinance gives them permission to be there and to give them limitation to the oh gosh, that's my word. The distance regulations. So for them to be there, we have to have an ordinance in place allowing them to be there specifically. And then I also added Banks and Pride to this. They're kind of grandfathered in, but the ordinance just officially allows them to be there so that there's no question down the road. Being within 60-ish feet of the daycare.
How long has this ordinance been in place?
2019 is when we put the ordinance in place. No, it's older than that.
Yeah,
It's 70s?
I I'm not sure when Mariana brought this up to me, on the quick trip, I don't know definitively if the quick trip was there before the Assembly of God, or I bet there's been a gas station on that spot for a very long time, probably selling, maybe it was a quick trip. So I think if the city was trying to deny a CMB there, I'd get very nervous about their rights. But I think what Mariana is trying to do with this ordinance is to just kind of clear it, that it has been officially passed. The state statute just says if you're this close to a school or a church, it doesn't mean that, it doesn't say you can't have a CMB there, it just means that the council has to kind of say, hey, passing this ordinance says, yes, we are aware that these two things are a little bit close, but we're gonna allow it. On the other one by the daycare center, that's clearly, I'm not sure they even need an ordinance because they were there first. Pink's was there before the childcare center, and Pride was there before. Quick Trip and Assembly of God, we'd have to dig through records to figure out, but it's just kind of it's just a hygiene situation. We're just making sure that it's on record that we do it. What I'm most excited about is I do agree with the beginning statement about the police reviewing the CMB and the licensees, because we really just should do that. I think we probably don't do it in the past because, hey, it's the places we all know and we go. But when we get a new applicant, they're supposed to review a new applicant too. So someday when they give that person the review, it's like, hey, we do this for everybody. This isn't, we're not picking on a new applicant. We do this for everybody. So that's just kind of, that's what it's all about.
And I think that would have been kind of better explained on how they were gonna do those, because I was talking to a business owner and they said it was more like a building inspection. I mean, they were checking the lids on the trash cans in the bathroom. What's that got to do with selling beer?
That's part of our code. That's why they did it.
Okay, but I mean, I think it would have been better for them to kind of know that's what they were gonna look at, is the trash cans, if they had a lid on them, you know, cause they were going in like every other year where it's just, okay, you're good, you know, you can sell this year. So maybe get that out and let them know that, hey, they're gonna look at your breaker boxes, your outlets, everything in your business. I just thought that was a little overkill for getting a CMB, but.
Yeah, and the
That's
hard
just-
part is that so many different departments of the state, they will have different
Oh,
ideas of what this person and this person needs to do. So then when you get so many people having an opinion, you're gonna inadvertently cost the business owner extra money. I had that happen with me where I had to go and replace brand new doors on the buildings just due to something that should have probably been grandfathered in, but.
Yeah, that's what, you know.
And then I have the lottery people telling me I cannot have an automatic bathroom door closer on the bathrooms, but then I've got the state of Kansas telling me, oh, absolutely, yes, you do. And it's just. Yeah.
My recollection is that we wrote our CMB code, we modeled it after the state ABC, because I think we kind of had, we're supposed to do that. Like, this is something chief of police are supposed to do an inspection.
Mhm.
How detailed that is might be subject to interpretation.
Yeah.
But I just want to answer the question about Amber.
And to be fair, Weigel and Penny, if you guys want to speak on this, you can, but they developed their own checklist based on the code, and I think they did add some like safety and security issue stuff into their checklist as well.
But I mean, I'm just going, how does a police officer, are you trained in looking at a breaker box and knowing if that's good or bad or not? Or, I mean, where are we getting our skills from? I mean, that's what I'm wondering, are we checking?
It's mainly fire issues that they got.
Oh, okay, fire stuff.
We found a couple places that actually have furnished water heaters that had cardboard and paper stacked on top of it.
Okay,
Not being a trained fire professional, I still understand that's a good
Yeah.
idea. It's like that with the breaker boxes too, just loose paper,
Yeah.
something brown from.
around it, okay, all right,
So it's more of a safety check for that part of it.
But I
yeah.
think maybe that, like Tyler said, that should have been maybe explained more.
Well, they had no idea, like, you know, it was kind of like, whoa.
The owners have all walked through with me and I explained it as we go.
Okay.
And since it hadn't been. I'm sorry, since it hadn't been done routinely or consistently before, we developed a checklist and we're literally going down the list, so it's the same inspection for everyone, it should be the same going.
So then next year, they're gonna know, okay, this is what's happening. This is what's
Nothing will
coming.
change from this year to next year.
Okay, well, that's better, as long as they kind of know.
And we've been trying to be pretty lenient on it to explain it to them since it
Yeah.
hasn't been done since,
Yeah, I mean,
since who knows when. So it was be lenient, educate first, and then if they don't want to follow it over the years, then they start getting
yeah, okay.
more fine.
Just out of curiosity, what time of day do you guys usually do those?
So I've been doing them when the business has been open, we started with the rail yard as it was opening. switching from heavy dose to the other, so just as soon as there was somebody in there when they weren't busy, we've been trying to go in during business
So, like,
hours, like I waited for the bowling alley. Same thing.
So like on a restaurant, are you going in there at noon or are you going in there at 3?
If it was a restaurant, we'd be going in not during peak hours
Okay.
whenever possible.
Just making sure.
Okay. Well, that answered all my questions I had.
That's the same ones I had, because that same person contacted me, I think.
Yeah.
And you.
Okay.
So are we on to the next? There's nothing no action taken today.
Well, we got.
We need a motion.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I move to approve ordinance 3163 to grant distance limitation waivers for certain retailers.
I'll second.
Councilor Nara has made a motion to approve ordinance 3163 to set up distance limitations for retailers. Councilor Coates is second on that motion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, now we're talking about the cereal malt beverage license renewals for 2025. That is agenda item report 24-230.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the cereal malt beverage license renewals for Pizza Hut, Quick Shop, and Casey's.
I'll second it.
All right, Councilor Renard has made a motion to approve the cereal malt beverage license for the retail establishments that Tyler said. We'll go ahead and Councilor Panzer, you second that motion?
Yes.
All right, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is petitions and delegations sign up procedure discussion. We did it this morning by people coming in to sign up, but you can also require that they have to go and speak to somebody before they can speak publicly. We need to have a discussion over that, but go ahead. Dustin, do you want to kind of talk?
Sure. Well, it's just requesting how you do it. While it gives you general guidelines, there's multiple ways you can do it. The one way is just to have them sign up before they come into the meeting. Or some councils or some cities allow people to come in or to set it up at the city clerk's office beforehand. If they want to speak, they have to set it up on your hand. Or enjoy. That's really your prerogative. We just wanted to get definitive guidance on how you wanted to do that.
I think the public has the right to come forward as they wish before a meeting and speak. My opinion.
If you don't do that,
We're up here because of the public.
right, if you don't do that, then somebody who wants to speak just won't ever speak. and that's
Won't
not
speak,
good, right?
yeah.
It's just another barrier.
I like to leave it as is.
Okay,
So they need to sign this?
yep,
Is that what we're going with?
yep,
Okay, all right.
all right.
Do that.
Need a motion?
Yeah.
Okay, next item, letter of support for the rail yard and smoking barrel. I did not need to speak to anybody about this. I felt like you would be completely on board with this. Each of these two businesses are valuable to us. They've had it really, I don't even know all the details, but somebody called the health department on the rail yard. Smoking Barrels had some weird communications going on with them. We just want to show our support for our businesses in our community. And so if we could put together a letter of support, just something generic that expresses that. And to be thinking about what else can we do? I mean, I don't know, is there something else we could do? Yeah, come right up, yep.
I am not sure what you're referencing with the smoking barrel. We have been nothing but supportive for the rail yard because we are thrilled they are here. They offer a completely different menu than we do. And we're just tickled to death. We hope somebody can buy Ellie's and bring it in. So if you have proof that we have said anything.
No, I've never said that. I'm saying we're supporting both of you.
Okay,
That's it.
perfect. Okay, I misread that
Okay.
because I thought
No.
you said we were.
We don't know the details. We just know that you could use some support.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Roseville County.
Yeah, Michelle, come on up. Michelle's the interim director of Grow Ellsworth County because Stacy resigned and took a job at the hospital, so.
I am Michelle. I I'm not sure where this is going, but I just want to make sure that there is letters of support for all businesses in Ellsworth County, not just Ellsworth. Include Wilson, Canopolis, Holyrood, and if anything ever shows up in Lorraine. So I just want to make sure that that's not just pointed at two businesses only.
Sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. We can toss that around. Does anybody have any strong opinions about this or not really?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
As a previous restaurant owner, honestly, I would just want the city of Ellsworth to leave my name out of their mouth. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't want anybody to have a secondary opinion because the city's talking about me. That's just, I think it's just wiser to keep it that way.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Good point. All right, anybody else? Okay, next item. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mayor, I'm not sure what my direction is then. So is my direction to draft a letter or not?
Sounds like
Two
not.
different people. So can I get clear direction?
Yeah, just don't do it.
Sounds like.
I would think collectively, we're just here to support the community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
no,
So I'll
right.
make sure. Okay.
Yeah, he's got, yeah, right.
As long as I understand my direction, the same.
All right, next item on the agenda, government ethics, establishing benchmarks and goals. What I'd like to do, I think one of the big problems that we've had over the last 10 months is public comment and how that it's just so hard for the public to know what's going on, to be supportive, to kind of really participate in our democracy. We're setting up new rules here. We want people to speak, but we want them to have information. And it's been a nightmare 10 months. And I think if they would have had the information, this would have been a lot quicker, a lot easier, a lot more clear cut. There wouldn't be the animosity that there is right now. So I don't know, Patrick, what you could do, but I'd like to get a group together, have a town hall meeting, maybe the first quarter next year, to establish some benchmarks and goals. You know, what do we want to do? How do we want to act? What is government ethics? What do we do right? What do we do wrong? So I just want to start the discussion. You know, it's not something that'll be easy, but you know, I want people to have just an opportunity to hear from us or whoever wants to participate and to get the information. And I want the information to be able to flow, and I want it to be something that this community will have for a long time. We don't need to go through this again. This was very difficult. And I think that as I talk to people, they're still like, I don't know what really happened. And we just support you. And that's not good. They need to know more of the information. And I think that's, if you could help me with that and just basically come out and say, here's how you set up a legal town hall meeting. Here's how it should go. We've done it before. Michelle was here with the Chamber of Commerce and the former Ellsworth Economic Development merged. We had a mediator come in and it was great. People were pretty hot there too, but he was able to kind of keep everybody under control, keep them focused on what we were trying to accomplish. And I think that's how Grow Ellsworth County became an organization, was through that process. So I think we need something similar. And with that said, we'll continue to talk about this, but I just wanted to leave it at that for today. Thank you. And then we've got another one. We've got, and find it here. Aaron wanted to add the new agenda item 2.04.080. You want to take it away, Aaron?
Sure.
Yep, go ahead.
Patrick, do I just read this?
Yeah, I can come up and tell you, and after you explain what your ordinance is, I'll answer any questions and talk about it.
Okay, so you have to excuse me, I don't have a microphone, so I'm gonna talk loud. I can talk loud, trust me.
Okay, it's not working.
And Patrick, if I can, I think originally, the way this is explained is the mayor shall preside at all meetings of the city council and shall have general supervision over the affairs of the city, which I believe some of us find to be pretty vague, and to change the verbiage to under section 1, Ellsworth City Code 2.04.04080, meetings presiding officer is hereby admitted as follows. The mayor shall preside at all meetings of the city council and have such powers as provided by Kansas statute only. The mayor shall not exercise any executive authority over the city or its employees.
Yeah, so Councilmember Johnson told me this morning and asked if there was any confusion about the role of the mayor in the governing body, and I've been looking over some things after Dustin's resignation, so I was kind of familiar with where the codes were at. And I think that I kind of flagged that the general supervision language is rather broad because it could be an And we don't really, I don't think it's good practice to leave anything open to interpretation, because if we don't have a clear interpretation, we could have a conflict. So I think hopefully the new amending ordinance will just make clear who's who and what's what.
So is it saying the mayor has no authority over the employees?
Yes.
And that's really what it is.
And under our current, we don't have a clear, the ordinance doesn't say that, our handbook says that, other places say that.
It's different in the state and our ordinance, it's all over the map, but I like what you're saying.
So one cool thing about Kansas city government, I won't nerd out too long, but we have home rule authority, so every city has a little bit of a chance to put their own tweak on things. And so that's why if you just Google what can the mayor do, you might find all sorts of different answers, because there's different options. But our employee handbook makes clear that it's up to the city government, and that the mayor is, and that everything runs through our administrator. We have a different ordinance that says that, but I think it will be, after listening to the council members' concern, I think just making it black and white, mayors do the things in the statutes and preside over the meeting, and then the governing body has the authority to tell the administrator what to do, et cetera.
But the mayor's part of that governing authority, part of the body, right? But not in, what you're saying is the mayor should not act independently in that area.
Yes.
Okay. Well done, I like it. Yeah, clears it up.
And that also includes an interim.
An interim administrator has the same authority as an administrator.
Okay, very good.
It's just,
I just want to make
just
sure
a
that's
different,
clear too.
the only difference is the interim's contract is for a shorter time, but other than that, they are the administrator, so.
But the council doesn't have the power to tell the mayor he cannot be on interviews, correct?
Well, the council.
Whoops, yeah, go ahead,
Whoops, I don't know.
because that didn't happen here. It did. That was the assumption, and that assumption's not true. You made me think that one over, that's fine. If you want to come back to us, you can. Right? I'm the governing body, so we have joint
You're the
supervision.
governing body?
No, together. Oh, that was really fun. So what I'm saying is together, jointly, we,
Are you talking about for administrator position? or-
right.
Well,
The governing body should hire the new administrator. Are you actually gonna say I should be kicked out of the governing body for that hiring
no,
process?
the mayor should be part of the administrator's interviews.
Correct.
Because of the way that the process is set up.
And police chief and all the others.
That would be a different discussion,
Okay.
actually. But because the mayor has to make appointments, anything the mayor has to make an appointment on.
Who does the mayor make appointments for?
City officers. I don't have-
Who are the city officers?
The administrator, the city clerk, the city chief of police, that varies a little by city, myself. We could go down the list.
So you are a city officer?
Yeah.
Okay.
City officer.
Okay.
Today.
Today. So the governing body will have that discussion. Thank you.
Wait,
Yeah.
Patrick, one clarifying question, like this is saying that we have to do things as a whole, right? It's not like
Yeah.
Aaron could tell somebody or I could tell somebody, it's making sure that we all work together, we're not singling just Stan out or anything like that.
No, it's not, it really isn't intended, and we have, the personnel policy is clear that, it's a governing body decision on things, but it really, we have ordinances in place that say the administrator is the one who carries out things day to day. That's how we're set up.
Thank you.
So we need a motion on that?
Probably, yeah.
I'll make a motion to what Aaron said.
After we get 45 minutes into this.
Okay, make a motion to 2.04.080. Amending it to our
That's a.
policies and procedures.
Go ahead, Mayor, if I may have permission.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
If that's your motion, make sure you know, since it's not created, you need a motion at administration to construct the ordinance.
He's got it.
All right,
He's got it.
okay,
That's it.
thank you, that's all.
Made a motion, need a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Counselor Panzer has made a motion to approve, is it ordinance 2.04.080? And Counselor Johnson has seconded that motion. Any debate or concerns about that?
I think it's an amendment, right? It's an
An amendment to the ordinance?
The ordinance. is
Right,
already-
Patrick?
Yes.
So it's an amendment to ordinance
Well,
to
it's
two
an
point.
ordinance that amends the city code, which is the same thing.
So is this the amendment or is this the new code?
It's the amendment, because then what happens is it gets codified by.
Okay, all right, so Counselor Johnson has seconded the amendment 2.04-0.080. Any concerns about that? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, do we want to do closing arguments now, or do we want to go into executive session, or what do you want to do? Or whatever, it'll be an argument, I'm sure, but go ahead. Closing statements.
We're still well.
Right, I'm saying we'll do that, but towards the end, the comments, I don't even see them on here. For all
No,
of
I
us.
think we all
They're-
need
they're-
to, we all need to speak before.
You want to do it before executive session? Okay, city council, okay. I just was laying it out there as an option. So city inspector, did you want to go on?
No, I really don't. I just would like to thank Dustin for the support he showed me and how he's helping my job, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dylan. All right. Fire chief.
So likewise, probably don't have anything to say other than I publicly want to say thank you for Dustin. We've worked on a lot of stuff, tried to make access to funding and grants that we've worked through. And on my end, he's been very helpful, and so I publicly want to say thank you.
Thank you. Golf superintendent. Not here. Chief Penny.
I don't have anything else other than I'd like to thank Dustin also for supporting me, giving me my first police chief job and allowing me to take responsibility for the department and work for the city of Ellsworth.
Very good, thank you. Is Troy here? No Troy? Is David?
I really want to thank Dustin for bringing me back in. I think it. Also, I hate seeing you go because this is the very first time administrator that deal with everything an administrator can help you with. And
Thank you for the nice comments, very good.
Ronnie Inspector also.
Oh, Ronnie, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say what everybody else is saying, thank you, Dustin. You've been a real asset since you've been here, and it doesn't go unnoticed. You took a lot on your plate, and it's very appreciative, so I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Ronnie. City attorney, did you have anything?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm trying to expect it on. I also wanted to say thank you to Dustin. I've enjoyed working with you. I wish you every luck in your next job. And I expect you to still call me at least occasionally to tell me what's going on. I've been thinking a lot since I received Dustin's resignation about the city of Ellsworth. One of the things I've been thinking about is, I have a philosophy as a city attorney that really, my goal is to sit in the back and not say anything for the meeting and to coach. And believe it or not, that is really my goal. And a lot of my governing bodies I work with, that's how it works. And I don't think it's my job to preach or tell people what to do. And I'm really not going to do that. But at the same time, I've been thinking, how can I help? What can be offered to help? Because obviously things are not going the way any of us wanted to. We've had 3 administrators in the last 9 years. And that's in addition to some interim gaps. And I think one thing that we could look at, we did a little bit of tinkering today with an ordinance about how the city works. I think the city should really consider taking a step back, taking a broader view and looking at just the structure of our government down to mayor, council manager. Do we need to tinker with the structure itself? Do we need to do some more structural changes to improve things? I mean, some of it could be you always, personality conflicts are always possible, but sometimes the systems themselves can be set up in a way that create a larger propensity. So that's just a thought. That's not something we can get done tonight. I would really appreciate an executive session for an interim admin. As I was talking earlier, the city set up to have an admin. We need to really look at getting a proper admin. And then one last thing that I have to say, and I do not want to add to conflict, but please understand this is a true concern. There is a line that got crossed earlier. The public has to stay behind the podium. Have to do it every time. Because we have some members of the public who may not be physically intimidating that we know, and we know that they may be just making a point, but we don't know everybody and we don't know what everybody's doing. We cannot let them come back to this podium ever. None of you guys deserve that. and none of you should tolerate it.
Great comments, thank you. City Clerk?
I just want to tell Dustin, thank you for all your work that you've done from day one. You walked in the door and I told you everything, like all my issues, and we've never stopped since. So thank you and good luck.
Thank you, Angela. Deputy City Clerk, did you want to say anything?
Yes, so we will be needing to do a budget amendment. We'll have a public hearing before the next meeting, if you want to put that on your calendar. And the actual hearing for it will be at the December 9th meeting, so public hearing at 5:15. It is in the newspaper, so we're doing it then. And then I also need you guys to start thinking, and Patrick, when is a good time to do our council training? We have our code, there's a booklet in front of each of you. So the code and handbook and the ordinance are all in there for each of you. But we need to start thinking about a good date for all of us to get together and do a training.
I think it needs to be after the first of the year. It's too busy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you guys just want to send me an email of what dates do or don't work for you. Not all of us collectively together. We don't want a serial meeting. If you want to email me individually what your schedule looks like for the next quarter even. Patrick and I can work with our planning and zoning commission. Also, they are going to attend with us to get something put together so that we can kind of hash out how we want to do petitions and delegations, what our code needs to look like for our structure, all of those things we can discuss and actually do a full training on. So if you want to send me dates, whenever you guys are available, that'd be great.
How long do you think this would be?
Based on the current, I would say at least 3 hours.
So probably like a weekend or the evening, we'd be here all night.
Yeah. Or even if you're willing to sacrifice part of a Saturday or Sunday, I don't want to do that to anybody, but I think it's necessary to have these trainings.
We did it in January, and it went really well. We did the training in January, and it went super well, so.
But like Darcy said, it's holiday season, so if we need to send it out, people are busy and I fully understand that.
Anything else?
That's all I have.
All right, city council, Tyler. Nothing? Okay.
Administrator?
Administrators first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
right here on
Go
the
ahead.
list.
Yeah, go ahead, Dustin.
First off, I wanted to thank City Council for your time, for your risk, for all of your support. I couldn't have done anything I've accomplished without your support, so thank you. The staff, you're the reason I come to work. That I've said that privately, I'm gonna say it publicly, y'all are amazing. I couldn't accomplish the things that I have without you. Thank you all. It truly makes me happy that's been your work because y'all are here. Thank you, Mariana, for all the work you've done. Thank you all. That's it. Then I will have an exit letter to you with and the staff with all the information that we need, all the numbers, all the people that I keep in contact with. You know, all of you will have that, so at least you know what I'm doing.
Thank you. Tyler?
Yeah, Dustin, thanks I thought you did a great job. I think the people in Iowa are gonna get a good administrator. I hope whoever we get, we can keep these projects going and you've got started the water and the infrastructure. I think it's a really good proactive thing and we need to keep doing, keep trying. So thanks and good luck to you.
Thank you. Jessica?
Basically the same thing. Thanks, Dustin. It's been great working with you and I agree with Tyler about the projects. We got to keep somebody motivated. So yeah, thanks for all your hard work on everything and leaving us organized and.
Thank you, Aaron.
I'd just like to tell Dustin, thank you. I've had the pleasure of working with you inside the building as well as outside of the building. I think you've done a great job as well. And I look forward to keeping in contact with you. Hope all goes well. Tell Ellie, thank you too.
Don?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dustin. You've been a very good friend and you've been a good city administrator. We're sorry to see you go. I just want all the council and the mayor to think about the bigger picture. We're at the start of a $10 million water treatment plant facility. And Dustin's been working on a $2 million loan forgiveness program. And we need to keep this up front with everybody that how important this is to the community, because no squabble that we have up here is worth $2 million loan forgiveness. The city needs that, and we're responsible to the citizens of the city to do all we can to get that $2 million loan forgiveness. That's all I have right now.
Okay, I'm gonna read this because I just have to type it. I had to type it. So first of all, Dustin, thank you. To say that it was a shock to find out that Dustin was leaving would not be true. He's honestly stuck this out way longer than I would have with all the animosity and hatred that has been thrown at him. While I know this is not the only reason he is leaving, I'm sure it had to play a part in his decision. I also admire him for putting his family first and for being willing to move on for them as well. While it's sad to see him go, he only has my best wishes in his new job. To those of you sitting in this room celebrating that Dustin is leaving, shame on all of you. Shame on you. We should want to help people who come here to make our city a better place, not drive them out. The fact that we have done nothing for 10 months but try to make his life here as miserable as possible and force him out is just sad. No, not one of us in this room is perfect, and we all have faults. It would be a shame if people started coming forward with your skeletons and sharing them for everyone to find out about. We are supposedly a city with pride, but the last few months we have been far from that. If anything, the chaos that has ensued this past year is more fitting to the wickedest cow town in Ellsworth, in Kansas. While we are on the subject, I would like for our accuser to please let everyone know what role we as a council have played in this, since all you keep saying that we know what we did. You keep talking about what you have, so please let's just put it all on the table. If you have it all and you are the voice of the people, then I would think instead of keeping such information for yourself, you would want the people whom we represent to know of our wrongdoing so they can make clear choices when the next round of elections come around. If we are part of the problem, as you clearly keep stating, then I would think you would want the people to know that. If you think Dustin leaving is going to miraculously fix the differences up here, think again. There have been a lot of hurtful things said and done that have nothing to do with Dustin, and those will never repair themselves. We will work together for the greater good because that is what we were elected to do, but the camaraderie will never be the same. This will be, in 5 years, with interim, the 4th administrator the city has had. The chances of us finding a strong, confident person to lead our city will be tough, especially if they decide to truly research the last year of the city. We have some big projects coming up and we need good leadership to help us get those jobs accomplished. I'm going to pray that we can find one that is not afraid to ruffle feathers while also being able to help us grow as a city. All of us on this council are giving of our time to make Ellsworth the best it can be. But if people continue to see only the wrong that we do, you will be lucky to get good people to run in the future, as no one wants to be a target for someone's hatred and malice. So I hope those of you who continue to act in this manner are prepared to step up and take the reins. But just remember, what goes around comes around. And it's an awful feeling to be treated like that.
Great comments, thank you. Clearly, I think Patrick probably hit it right. We do need a major timeout. This isn't really the last 10 months. This is a cyclical problem. And people that have lived here for decades have told me about a lot of problems. So I think we just need to do a huge timeout, ask some questions, because if we don't, we're not going to grow. People are not going to want to invest in a town that has ethical problems and chaos like this. They're not going to want to get involved. So we've got to straighten that out. And I think Patrick may be right. We may have some structural issues inside of our government that contributes to this, but I'm filled with hope. I'm filled with so much hope. I think that if we take a time out and if we just stop for the next few months and say, what have we gotten wrong all these years? What is it about ourselves? I think we're going to make some good decisions. If we get panicky, we freak out and we get another administrator and we don't ask deeper questions, we're going to be back here again in 2 more years. And we don't want that to happen. So I say we do a timeout, we don't panic. And these are great points you're making. Every one of you has made a great point tonight. And this is kind of how we move forward. And I think that's all I need to say, just a message of hope. I think that we've learned a lot. And Darcy's right, we're never gonna be the same again. Elections are coming up, and the good news is some fantastic people are showing interest. So I'm excited, I'm upbeat, and that's partly why I'm so optimistic. I think we're gonna get some great new blood in here, and I'm excited about that. So with that said, let's move to executive session.
I'd like to find out what the ethical issues are before we go to executive session.
All right, let me ask you one.
Okay.
Who are the witnesses on the KBI report? You don't even know. You don't even want to know the truth. You don't even know the truth. You don't even know what the report says. That's all I want to say.
I've asked, and no one will tell me. This all happened before I got on.
Okay,
And no
sure
one's
it
told
did.
me a thing.
There's a
No one's
report
told-
out there. There's a report
No
out
one's
there.
told me one thing.
And it says a lot, so.
Yeah.
Well, Mayor, just to be clear, you haven't seen the KPI report because the county attorney wouldn't give it to us.
What did you email then?
I emailed you the document from the county attorney's office, but that wasn't the KPI report.
All right,
That was
well-
his charging document. I just want to.
Okay, charging document.
Well, thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Clearing that up.
Okay.
So, the only reason I say it is because you're saying one thing, Mayor, that was gonna be.
You and I haven't even had the conversation yet, but it just shows that
I
you
think
weren't
that's what you
interested.
should be
Hold on,
saying.
hold
No,
on, no,
you
no.
are-
You weren't interested enough to share it with them. Why?
Why what?
This is what we're gonna get to the bottom of. Thank you.
No, Mayor, you are completely misrepresenting the facts of things. What you just said is exactly the problem. I sit here in the back, it's so frustrating. I'm sorry, I lost my control.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Can I say something as a newcomer?
Go right.
No, nope, she had her time. No.
After the meeting would be fine, but yeah. All right, so executive session. How many minutes do we need to go into executive
2
session?
days.
Yeah.
I don't know who's making executive session.
Patrick, do you know for the first one, individual performance, how long we should go into that one?
I don't know. We just need to get order. I asked for personnel to talk about an interim plan, and I don't know if that could be a short conversation or a long one.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to adjourn into executive session governing the city attorney to discuss an individual employee's performance in order to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel to come out at 6:52. Thanks.
53.
53, sure.
Perfect.
To come out at 6:53. Attorney and governing body. Sorry.
Who's seconding that?
I'll second.
All right, Counselor Coates has made a motion to go into executive session for 15 minutes, starting at 6:37.
You can have it out.
And to discuss individual employee performance,
I don't need to back it. Nobody can have that.
protect city's right to confidentiality, it's a negotiating position. And to come out in 47, 6:53. All right, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed? All right, motion carries. So I do my policy, really sure, right?
No, we're gonna make a motion. Patrick, to elaborate on. Getting it.
Okay. You can make a motion.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Mayor, I make a motion, or I move to have the mayor collaborate with our city attorney to find a suitable interim or an appropriate interim administrator to hopefully be here until Dustin's last day on the 27th.
As soon as possible.
Yeah, ASAP.
ASAP.
As soon as they're available to
Yeah.
help us out, yeah. Preferably before December 27th.
I'll second that.
All right, President of the Council of Codes has made a motion to allow the mayor and the city attorney to collaborate on finding a suitable temporary city manager. Councilor Nard has seconded that motion. Any debate or concerns about that? All right, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Other item we're gonna do before we adjourn is I had made a comment about a KBI report. I have seen a KBI charging document. It is different, and I apologize to Patrick for making the legal mistake that I made. So there you go.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
All right, Councilor Coates has made a motion to adjourn the meeting. Councilor Hanson has seconded that motion. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. See everybody December the 9th, right?
Guys, I have a question just for clarification.
Yeah.
On our buildings, when Dustin said, okay, can we get